I think 2 is plenty.
A few workshop guidelines and reminders. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I feel like when I shared my screen, I lost my video and my audio. Sorry about that. Um, so this is the image we'll be working from, okay? Something a little more playful and light, not super technical. I want to go over just a few guidelines and reminders. This is an opportunity for us to get some practice. It's not a class. I don't have a lesson planned. When working from a masterwork like this, the goal is not to make a forgery, but to have your own experience with the work and practice putting it together according to whatever key relationships and essential elements you see. Make your own parallel image with your own touch. It can still be an opportunity to learn. I'll be sharing insights about my process as the session unfolds. If watching my work will benefit you this session, I recommend switching your Zoom meeting to side-by-side speaker view in the top right corner of your Zoom window and using your cursor, finding the vertical gray bar that you can click and drag across to make my desk as large as you would like on your screen. Feel free to ask me questions. However, if you don't have something you want to say or any questions, I ask that you remain muted to eliminate any distracting background noise. Likewise, if you're in the zone and just want to work, feel free to mute me. Special thank you to our returning participants who regularly contribute. Um, the Marchutz School and I are happy to offer this monthly online practice hour at no cost to our community. If you are enjoying this program, please consider making a donation to support the mission of the Leo Marchutz School of Painting and Drawing at the link I'm putting in the chat right now. All right. Um, so I'll switch to my desk so that we all can get working. You all, please feel free to get started. Yeah, I don't know what happened there at the beginning. I'm really sorry about that. I could full screen this now because I don't need to read my notes. Make you a touch smaller. Strange. I feel like when I full screened myself, it somehow muted me and um, stopped my video for a reason, for some reason. Anyways, no worries there. Okay, so switching to my desk. There we go. All right. So this image, I felt like doing something different, um, something that I don't know, is going to get me to work a little bit differently. I think sometimes at the end, when I get towards the end of a teaching season, I get a little watercolored out, but I want to do watercolors with you all. Um, because I still want to paint. I guess I just want to paint differently. Um, so what I am going to use today is I have watercolors. I'll start with that, but I also have these water-soluble colored pencils that I like to use sometimes. I can't say I've really gotten a good grasp of how to best use them, but I'm going to continue giving them a shot because why not? So I'll pull a couple of these out, maybe the red, the blue, the green, some of these other tones I might put aside. But let me get started by drawing a rectangle. This is a very tall format for this image, but let me start by drawing a rectangle. And I think I'm just going to start by getting my surface wet, putting down colors where I see them, and then while it's moist, maybe starting to draw on top. Let's see how that works. All right, so taking my big brush, I'm just going to get this whole thing wet. I am not going to think too hard about this. I just want to get the paper to a state where I can start putting colors in it right away and get this image moving. All right, so loaded up my brush with some clean water, and I'm just going to go virtually everywhere on this thing. Maybe I'll leave out that area where the moon is. Now, I'm okay with my painting getting a little sort of abstract expressionist. We are looking at Chagall, so I'm not going to measure things out too much. I think I just want to get everything wet and start getting some colors on the page. So I will start, let's see, with a little bit of the warm stuff at the bottom. Again, all this fruit down here, I'm not going to think about it too hard. I just want to get the yellow where I see the yellow. I'll shape it later when I start moving into the pencils, but I'm just going to start by getting some of the tones that I see there. Same thing with the reds for those apples. Right, good. So now I'm taking some blue. I'm going to dilute my blue down a little bit because I see it's a little less behind the flower vase. It's a little less going on. A little less of that blue. So I'm going to cool down my blue, just start swiftly getting some of the colors down, right? For all of the green tones I see in the flower vase, I'm going to put a little blue down there too. Yeah, I'm gonna, especially because the green that I have is such a warm yellowy green. Maybe if I layer it on top of a blue, it might cool it down and chill it out a little bit. So I'm gonna get some of those blues there where I see them. Okay, so I got some basic things happening here. I'm gonna take this moment to, there's this red that's climbing up the side of my painting that I'm gonna get to simmer down a little bit. And I'll start painting some of the blue, the darker blue, the deeper, darker blue. Let's see, for that, we'll go like this. So those cooler blues, those warmer blues, I'm just trying to quickly touch a little bit down everywhere where I see that it goes. Moving on to some of the greens now. And I'm working quickly just because I want to get, like a foundation um, to this image while it's wet. I'm trying to take advantage of the wet state of it to build a foundation of this still life that I can then go over top of and articulate a little more with these colored pencils that I will try in just a moment. Okay. This is a bit of a foundation to where I'm at. Things are still kind of absorbing around my painting. I'm gonna give it a little spray just so it can preserve some of that. So I'm gonna move it to the side. So a little trick I like to use with my spray bottle, I'll take my painting aside and I'll make it sort of mist down onto my paper to keep it in an effort to keep it a certain level of moisture, you could say. Um, Still sort of getting the hang of it. Sometimes it ends up, I don't know. I can't totally see the droplets of mist in my room, so sometimes it doesn't always work. But um generally it does the trick. All right, so I think from here I'm just going to work my way back up. Let me change the angle of this so that I can draw. I liked where I was down here, but I, I can't say that I really have found a nice way to use these colored pencils. Okay. I'm very curious about them. Sometimes I do want tools. I'm very interested in layering mark making with like the more atmospheric washes of watercolor. Um, and I don't know, something like this is just so immediate. I really like that. So I'm kind of stubborn. I can't say I've really found a nice way to use them, but nonetheless, I continue to try. And right now I'm trying by painting directly onto a moist surface. I mean, drawing them directly onto a moist surface. So I tend to prefer things that offer me a little bit of looseness that sort of force me to not be, so detail oriented and articulate. So working on a moist surface with these pencils is great because I can't really go for distinct lines. I'm just responding to colors wherever I see them, and I don't even know if the colors are going to stay put necessarily. Um, but it makes for an exciting process, that's for sure. Um, and I don't know, something that feels a little there's something genuine, authentic in a way. Not saying that other work is unauthentic, but I don't know, the immediacy of it is just something that I find very satisfying. Not overthinking, over measuring, just sort of responding to what I see and learning to practicing the acceptance to live with whatever may come out. All right, I may have to re-moisten this a little bit later, but let me get into the flowers, which we'll see. I may have to find a way to, blend the blue with the red because I don't really have a red. I mean, I have a red, but it's a warm red. I need like a cooler red. So let me see if I can just draw over top over some of these blues that I'm putting down for the flowers. See where that gets me. That's pretty nice, actually. Go. Okay, so things are slowly starting to dry up on my paper, but I want to get even darker in certain areas. So I'm trying to get as much off of these pencils as I can in the moments that I want really dark before it gets too dry and I end up just making normal pencil marks. Okay, so this is what I have sort of quickly with one pass of just real loose watercolor washes, um, and then going over it all with those pencils. There are some things that I think are way too dark. I'm happy with most of this, but like these two at the bottom, I want to lighten up. And I want to sort of bring back some of the light on either side of the vase, holding the flowers up. Maybe I could push back a little bit of the space there if I can lighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to take a brush with no color on it, moisten it, and just try and scrub and massage some of the things I have put down that I can sort of soften and lift up. You know, where anywhere where things seem a little too heavy and harsh. Sometimes you take just a little bit of water in your brush and you can soften things up in watercolor, which is a really nice trick to be familiar with. I don't know how effective it's going to be on this with these pencils, but definitely in some of the areas where I put the wash, I can maybe scrub away some of the pigment, bring back some of the light. So I've done that a couple spots down here where the vase is. I think I'll keep doing it in a couple more places. I think that's kind of nice having that warm tone at the bottom of the vase, but here on the left side, I want to see if I can create a little bit of separation between the edge of the vase and the wall behind it. So again, just a moist brush, sort of scrubbing part of the paint away. Now I have this nice light vertical line here next to the contour of that picture that I think offers a nice little bit of separation. I could do a little more here. All right, so using the same technique, sort of scrubbing out some highlights in the fruit. So instead of it just being pure red or pure yellow in certain areas, maybe with some strategically placed curves, I can suggest a little more form in the fruit. I think this is the part that I am struggling with the most. How do I make it read like a bowl of fruit and not just vibrant colors with squiggles on them? Okay, I've done a little bit of scrubbing. I found myself fussing a lot with fruit in the bottom left. Um, but let me try and I want to do more to the flowers at the top. So maybe I need to stop touching this, but I've kind of sculpted it a little bit more through scrubbing to, shape the background, etc., etc. And I think I can probably soften up some of these green lines as well. Okay, enough. I need to go to those flowers or else I'm not going to have time to do anything to them. So let's see. I had some really light pink washes underneath, and then I went over top with the pencil, and I kind of want to, I need to do a couple different things. Um, all those flowers seem to have a little bit of a halo around them. I do want to preserve that. I do also need to expand some of the dark blue, green stems, leaves, etc. So just figuring out how I'm going to do that best. I think I'm going to strategically moisten certain parts around the flowers that I know I'm going to need to do a little more blue in. So go. It does make a difference actually. So I'm glad I'm doing this. All right, so I've concentrated some of the halos a little bit more. Let me choke up on those halos even more with some um, more work on the stems. So again, just kind of strategically laying some moisture down in areas that I'm going to want to do a touch more work in. And then these may have to be some of my last moves on this. I'm just keeping track of time here. Maybe a little more than 5 minutes left. But what's nice about images like this is that they kind of lend themselves to working quickly. Just responding immediately to what you see. Not like letting yourself overthink it too much. I'm just tilting my paper to get it to dry in certain places, but let me get these marks in now. There we go. All right. All right, I'm doing some last minute marks on the flowers themselves. Right on, Alice. Good to see you again. Been a while. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Nick. Nice to see you too.
Good
Hope
to
to
have
be
you.
back. Growing season had me very busy, but I'm back at it. So,
Right on. Very good. Good to see you painting
bye-bye.
again. Take
Ta-da.
care.
Bye-bye.
Right. All right, everyone. How about just a couple more minutes and then we'll wrap this session up with a group screenshot. So if any of you are joining for the first time, the practice hour, you can, after this, you can expect a follow-up email from the director of the school, basically just sending, saying thank you for joining, um, sending a link to, there is a recording of this that will be available. And also, I like to take a screenshot and have it sent out to everyone so that everyone can see what we're all making here. So I like to do that at the end of the session, and we'll do that in just maybe 2, 3 more minutes with this image, and we will wrap up. I don't know if I should even be adding these last marks that I'm going to, but I do want some, I don't know, I want some a little bit more darkness in certain areas here. So I'm gonna do that as the way I know how. Just some of the areas of this plant could use a little more opaque darkness. I want to get that in my image. Nice. Oop, I want blue. It's not enough blue. I need more blue than that. But well, I'm gonna have to live with that. Maybe I could pick it up with a paper towel in just a minute. We'll live with that. Put this away. All right, everyone. How about just under 2 more minutes? Just a friendly reminder to you all before we wrap this session up, if you've got a moment, um, check out the links in the chat. The first one is for the watercolor class that I am teaching in January with the Leo Marchutz School called Vision, Process, and Quick Watercolor Studies. We'll be doing quick studies, kind of similar to what we did now, very bold, expressive, immediate painting to connect your hand more with your eye and your sensations and to practice not getting hung up on details. So if you want a sort of a refresher on watercolors or something that will bring you fresh eyes to your paintings in the new year, or know someone who could use a reason to get back into painting, be sure to take a look at that link. That's the first one in the chat. Great gift idea, family member, friend who wants to get back into painting in the new year. And then the second link is the Leo Marchutz School support page if you care to make a donation. All right, everyone, wrap up the part of the image you are working on. And in just a moment, I will remove it and we can do a quick little screenshot together. This is also the last practice hour of 2024. I can't believe that we're already at the end of the year in a way. We will be returning in January. No worries there. I have sent Rose at the Marchutz School the dates, so fret not. We will be coming back in the new year with more dedicated time for your creative practice. Just be sure you are signed up to either the Marchutz School newsletter or my own, and you will get the monthly notifications. All right, everyone. Let me position this so that it will show up in the all right. All right, everyone. So I'm going to take this away and I'm going to make you all a little bit bigger. Very good. All right. So if you all could please just hold up, to the screen what you've been working on. I'll take a quick group shot that will get emailed to everyone so we can all get a little inspiration from one another. Nice work. Oh, right on. Really like some of these. Beautiful, everyone. All right, thank you so much. Diane, nice work. I like the multiple studies there. Really, really nice. Yeah. And Janice, I like that you tried it in pencil too. Doesn't have to be in color. You could still just respond to, shapes and light and stuff that you see.
I was trying to do the shadow stuff that you're talking about in class right now. So
Beautiful.
I think it wasn't too unsuccessful. So
No. The success is that you showed up. The success for all of you is that you showed up. And we'll keep doing this month after month and, keep bringing pencils. I brought colored pencils. Bring whatever you want. It's your time to work on what you're inspired by in that moment. Anyways, stay in touch, everyone. Have a great holiday season. Have a great new year. We'll do this again in January, all right?
It's wonderful.
Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
All right. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everyone. Take care.
Bye.